work? Did I already hit start and didn't realize it? Yes, I did. All right, like I said, it's gonna be poopy quality for a minute. Once I set it down though, it usually clears itself up. Like it doesn't get so bad when it's sitting still. It's that motion that kills it. Unless of course it just decides it's gonna be terrible looking. I can't decide if it is working okay. Yeah? Oh, yeah, there it goes. All right. Let's see. Oh, goodness. Those are heavy. Need a rag. Drill press in its natural environment, doing nothing, standing there. Hopefully I can get this apart. We're gonna have to use the bearing splitter. Goodbye. Not terribly far off. That's a little better. Maybe if we go this way. The problem is we can't eat up that center bearing or else we're really screwed. Where is an adapter that is the right size? Everything's on the floor. Because people are like, yay, I'm done, and then they run away. That's really close. This one is bigger than that, so that's useless. I need something that's just slightly smaller. Too small. Ooh, slightly smaller. Oh, damn. That's just a shade over. Yeah, that one's bigger. Might have to use this one. Not ideal. Wish you could find one just a little bit bigger. Just a little bit. That was way too big. This one is, did I say this was slightly bigger? Oh, perfect. Look at there. Now we play Stacks McGee. Yep, that's the problem with the drill press table, or the hydraulic table and stuff like that. All right, we're protected. We are now 100% impervious to any damage from this press because I'm wearing safety glasses. Hope this works. Helps when the valve's closed. Hey. can't do that. Glad I checked it this time. We're gonna push on the damn hub. So I need to make sure it's clears both of them, or else I'm gonna bend the damn hub and that's gonna make me real sad. All right, we got good clearance on both sides. Coming out real easy. Ooh, almost didn't fit. Old bearing. That worked out great. Now I just got to get this race off, which is the fun part. This is where you separate the men from the boys. The chaff from the wheat, or whatever. Those that can with those that cannot. Crap, my eye itches. This is the worst. This is clean. Oh, so much better. Why do you think? This one, you can feel the pressure you can tell how it's how the tone changes, and also it's got a pressure gauge on it. So if you see the pressure start going up, you stop. Like, it never usually comes off the bottom if it's pressing in there nicely. So you watch the pressure gauge, and then once it starts to spike, you're like, oh crap. How can I get this off? I can do the normal thing with the jaws from the hub taming kit. I think the problem's gonna be having a... What? What?
Like community chest?
Yes.
You didn't get a new hub like all of us do?
Nope. They don't have one. They don't have one available. Believe me, I would much prefer it. I would really rather have a new hub, but we don't have that option, so here I am, raiding your hub grappling kit. But I made all this stuff to do this with. So I made all this stuff to do this with. I just got to pull the race off. I'm not trying to I'm not taking your stuff over to the press. I cut slots in it, and then I put the cap on it, and then use that to press off the bearing. I gotta move the 3D printer off the damn table there and put it upstairs or something for the moment. Yeah, I mean, basically. There's a larger pool of viewers. I mean, you could say I've contaminated my viewer pool on Twitch. There's so much that I would change. Ooh, I already got it on the cutting board bit. Good. Good, good, good. I need this. I need this. What is that? I think a 14.7? Twitch definitely drives you to be more edgy, to get the edgy kids that want to play, and I don't really like that. It's not a 14. Mostly it's the demographics. Demographics of Twitch are kids that want to be edgy and play video games. The demographics of YouTube are everybody. I mean, like, everybody watches YouTube. Old people, young people, auto repair people, all that stuff. On Twitch, it is 13 to 25-year-olds almost exclusively. I know that lots of you guys found me on Twitch, but you know that you're not the main demographic as I do. We'll just cut it on this side and spray it away from us. Not enough. That should be enough to bite on. Should hopefully be enough to bite on. Sorry, I keep forgetting that's loud noises. That should be it for the really loud noise for the moment. Ah, it was moving. But it lost it. Yeah, I gotta come up some. I'll just mute it real quick when I'll just mute it for a second while I grind it again. Oh no! It moved again, but then it gave up again. At some point, I will have you, my pretty. I will have you. Oh, I know why. Because when I'm vibrating it, it's loosening up and sliding the clamp up, and that's why we're losing control of it. They make a tool that does this, but like, why make a tool when you already have one? Or why buy a tool when you can make a tool? It just takes a hose clamp and the hub tamer. I might have to take it back over to the bearing separator or press and again. Or we might just have to use like a wrench. Ta-da! And with minimal scratches on the hub, which is just the one scratch that I did when I missed when I was grinding it. But other than that, no damage. Got him! It's one of those, I know it'll work, just got to get it set up just right. So yeah, all this little tool is, probably should have recorded that. So I've done this video before, but to pull a race off, all I did was take a screw clamp, put it around basically a pair of 2 jaws that you can bite into this with, ground out, used a air thing here, ground that out, just little notches for those to fit into, and then press. It might take a few tries, but each time I tried it, it moved a little bit before it popped loose, and you just have to adjust it and try again. So there we go, got it off. And cut. Exactly. Yeah, it's a pretty narrow bearing. Now, the absolutely most stressful part of this whole thing, putting the new one in, or putting this in the new one. It's my least favorite part. Let me go put all these tools back real quick while you guys stare at the wall. It's to the point that when I store this and put it back in Eric's toolbox, I put the hose clamp with it. So I put the tools away, and this is part of the tools because it's already formed. All you got to do is do that. I hate the press. It's scary. I don't use it very often, so I mean, I have enough experience on it, but it's still one of those butt puckery moments where you're like, dear God, please work, please work, please work. Oh, good, we're done. Thank God we're done. Don't have to touch it again. Woo! It's just scary. You could say I'm a big baby. But it's not, I'm not scared of like it exploding. I'm just scared of it ruining my part or me doing it wrong and, you know, costing the shop money. That's what I'm scared of. Like the chances of the race exploding or the hub exploding is very little. I'm not so much worried about that as I am when I put it on there and it goes on sideways and you're like, well, I ruined it. It's a, you know, $200 bearing, and I just picked it up. All right, I'm gonna grab a little, I should probably turn the camera. I'm gonna grab a little emery cloth and kind of buff out that spot that I nicked. It shouldn't, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna make it go away. I just wanna make sure there's no burrs on it. So that way when I put it on, it doesn't catch or snag anything. Although it's really smooth, like I can barely feel it. And I'm gonna get some worn out emery cloth, like this stuff, which is, I've used it before. It's pretty, so it's not the 300 grit that it was. It's like 1,000 grit at this point because it's all dirty. And we'll just lightly buff it. Yeah, to the point you can't even tell I'm buffing it. Bring this to a nice mirrored shine. Because why not? One more spot. There. So this is a stepped bearing. That's why once we got it about halfway over, it came up. And we got a nice shine on it again. We still got that tiny little nick right there, but it's so small you can't even tell. It's not worth throwing the hub away, you know. Yep. Whether it's ruining things because it's my fault or because of anything else, I would prefer to not do it. I don't want to cost the shop money. I don't like it. Even though it's not technically your money. You're right, but I'd prefer not to do that. All right, it's got full support on that. There's that. Where's our new race or hub? I just had, there it is. So when it's going on in the correct direction, it should drop about halfway down off the bat. Now, the question is, yeah, that's there. Where's the other race? Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything like a shield or a... No, that's just the race. Yep. Okay. It just sits on there like this, and it goes really flush. The last thing you want to do is forget to put something in between, like say if there's like a little spacer or something on there, and then you're like, yay, and then you put it on and you find out that, oh no, that had something behind it. Well, that's not good. Now we need to find a race that fits this, which that fits pretty darn well. I guess we could put it on like that. Might get Eric to double check me on this, just to make sure I'm not doing it wrong. I'm still at that level, if you will, with the press, that I would much prefer to have somebody who's been doing it for many, many years to be like, yeah, you're good, you're good. I thought so, just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I'm good. We don't need to get Eric to come and test this. So this goes on here like so. Drops halfway, then that goes on there, then this goes on here. Because then that just goes down and meets the back. And there was nothing in between it the last time. Because here is the back, and here is our old race. Somewhere around here is where I put it. Right here. And so that sits on there like that. Yeah, there's no like cover or anything like that, so it's pretty much that. Now we're looking nice and flat. We could let the ram up. The hell was that? A loud bang. That's still not going to fit. Correct direction. Please go on there. Oh, thank God. Good. Whee! Yay! New hub. Look at that clearance. That's a mighty fine clearance if you ask me. Wow, that thing got delayed. Oh, never mind. Whew. That was a little stressful. Kind of thing to get your backside all. He's like, don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything stupid. Yay! I didn't do anything stupid. Whew. Oh. The lady at the parts store was pretty funny because we were trying to figure out if this thing came with a hub nut. Ow. Not a hub nut, but a there. If it came with crap, I should have grabbed one of those other bolts. Let's use the old one for the moment. Just throw it in a few threads. There, now it won't fall off. We asked her how many bolts it came with, and she goes, "Oh, it's got 4 regular bolts and 1 Costco-sized bolt." Good enough. That accurately describes, I guess, the axle nut bolt, or the axle bolt. Also, good morning, Milky, and I hope you guys have pressed that button. Ooh, I'm not on the book faces for my wife to talk to me if she wants to. Also, I need to give her a link to this. All right, let's grab our bolts. All of our new bolts. I guess the first bolt we could throw in would be the axle nut. That'll keep it from falling off. get you in here in just a second. Okay, we'll do a little recording here. Hello, we have a 2013 Audi Q5 Premium 2-liter all-wheel drive. We're doing the rear hub. As you can tell, I've already got the new one installed-ish. This is the easy part. Once you get it out and in, that's the hardest part. Doing the press work, if you don't have access to a press, get somebody else to do it. If you know what you're doing with a press, then go for it. So the trick of getting this on is very interesting. You can actually access the bolts down here. That's where the bottom two are. I know you can't see it, but my finger's kind of down here where the holes are. As you can see, the two holes are right there. You have to jack up the suspension, and it straightens out this control arm, and it lets you get access to those bolts. Otherwise, you got to pull this off. You got to pull off a whole bunch of stuff, or they suggest that you take off the whole knuckle. And as you can see, I managed to get it out without doing any of that, because I really didn't want to mess with that. They say this is a torque to yield bolt, this is torque to yield, all this crap's torque to yield, and I'm sick of it. So finding any way around it I can. So now we got the new bolts. I got one old and one new bolt. I'm putting them in. So here's the journey of putting it back in. Yeah. There you go. In there somewhere. There we go, that'll hold it in. Back that one back out because it's old. New bolt goes in because it's new. And then we got to get lower. Got to get low, get low. We can do the top bolts very easily. The bottom ones are the hardest ones, so we're going to pick it up and go from there. The bottom two are definitely the most frustrating. Wait, I got my computer away from the lift arm, don't I? Yeah, it's close, but it's not going to hit it. I think this is what I want to do, because I'm probably going to go grab the other tripod. And it's got to be a little lower. It's not quite as tall as the other pole jack, if you will. Also, this backlight isn't helping at all, but whatevs. I can only do so much as a film producer here at the shop. So let's try and get a decent shot under here, I guess. The problem is you're not going to be able to see anything because I can't see anything. I'm pretty much working blind. Pretty much. Not totally. But I can see one bolt hole right there. Ooh. Aha, got that one in. One, and then two. Oh, that's my fault. When I move the rig around, sometimes the connection for the audio gets a little wacky. I'm sorry. All right, now I need this drill and where are my toolbox is a mess, which stresses me out because I need my 1/4-inch long-handled ratchet. I see my short-handled one, but I don't see, there it is, hiding under the pile of crap. So you can get to these actually quite easily with a really stubby ratchet and a really stubby bit. So if you're able to, say, get in here with something that's this deep, then you can do this without having to do all that mess. So if you have a stupid short triple square, which is what this takes, a triple square 12, then you could just do this pretty easy right here. But unfortunately, in order to get enough oomph on it to make sure it's guten tight, the German tightness of guten tight, which we will be torquing these, that is the harder part. The much harder part. So since we got that, we could even push the axle back a little bit. All right, so now I'm gonna go get the pole jack. We're gonna stick it under, maybe here? Maybe under the bar? I don't know. I'm gonna pick a spot. I can't, well, can I do that? No, because if I did this, it could get in the way of accessing that. Maybe here, like right there. Maybe right there, on the bottom of this shock. Right there would be best. I'm gonna go grab a pole jack, because we gotta lift up the, basically the entire car, or the rear suspension. Not answering that bloody telephone. That's what we pay people up front to do. Pay people up front far too much money. All they have to do is sit and do things. I, however, have to finesse things and be very, very careful with everything that I do. We might pick this up a little bit higher. All right. Now if we get this right here. See how I'm lifting up the suspension? And so I basically want to get this to where it's almost flat. Or at quote unquote ride height, because we're mostly fighting this spring right there. Stressful? Yes. Terrifying? Yes. I think we can get that from there. So, what is the torque spec on that? 28. 28 is 80 plus 90. Whew. So let's get our torque wrench, set it to 80. I think it was this one. And where is my bit? 70, 80. Right here. Feels like I'm working with a bomb, honestly. All right, that's in. Well then. Isn't that nice? Did I tighten it, torque it to 80 with... Because that one's the hardest one. This next one isn't so bad. I wonder if I torqued it to 80 with my damn electric, or quarter-inch ratchet, which would be pretty badass, if you ask me. But that was the hardest one to get started. The 90 degrees, I'm probably just gonna take a pen and mark it, and then just try and crank over on it. I don't know how successful that's going to be, but it's my only option. Come on, get in there, baby. I need a longer extension. It's been a whole 30 minutes since I did this. I don't remember what extensions I used the last time. Where is my other extension? I'm missing one, and it's the one I'm looking for, of course. Why would we want to keep track of it? We don't want that now, do we? We want to keep everything as hard to find as possible. Hell yeah, all that gym time's paying off. Look at me. I'm dead sexy. Oh, it's right here. Look at me, I'm dead sexy. Nope, not attached to a 10 mil, just sitting under some crap. Nuts. Good. Those are both torqued to 80. Now we're going to do 90 on them, which is going to be the hard part. So let's take a pen and try and mark them in some form or fashion that I can see. Excuse me. This pole jack is not helping anything. It's right in the bloody way. All right, that one I can see pretty well. All right, cool. So I can tell that this will be 90 and that will be 90. These are all rough, like it's rough, but as long as you get close enough to it, you should be all right. Because also we're gonna have to go in like tiny, tiny, tiny movements because we don't have a lot to work with here. About halfway there. Almost. A couple more. Yeah. Boop. Hmm? Ah. No worries. Oh, shoot. My bad. Ruined. Oh my God, he's trying to break all my tools. Damn it. It's just a little too long. Like, it'd be perfect if it wasn't just a skosh. Just a skosh too long. Can I make this other one work with this adapter? Nope, that's even longer. Who's calling me? Oh, just people wanting money. We know how much we don't like people wanting money. I love it, Shade. What question did I answer? Or you just mean in general questions? That's the best idea I've ever heard all day. Can I give you a hug now or later? God, I'm worried about this thing coming loose, smashing the hell out of my finger. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it. I can't get it to budge, and it's really close. It's just not 100% perfect, but it's really freaking tight. This one's gonna be even harder to get that last little umph on it. So yeah, submit your questions and I'll try and explain it in 15 seconds or less, or 60 seconds or less. If I have something to show you, I'll do that too. Almost. There. That sucks. It really sucks. I don't like it. I don't like it one iota. Whew. All right, so we got the bottom ones tight. Now we're gonna get the top ones tight, and then we gotta tighten the axle. Workable, doable, possible, not fun. Not fun at all. I know there's no bloody way I can do any more with my 1/4-inch ratchet. I just wish there was a way I could. I wonder if it'd be worth shaving this down. I'd be afraid to break it though, like shave sides onto it and then put a ratchet around it. Because this will fit, like this part will fit. So if you can have a, I wonder if they make one. Or if they make a set that's like that. I'd be worried it'd compromise the integrity of the socket though if I cut it like that. Just sucks that that stupid thing is there, man. Oh God, it's so bad. Also, how far back can I go? Can I like shoot it from like way back here? Get like a 36-inch extension? Just trying to think of future ways of doing it better. All right. Let this down because we need to lower the car down so we can Sweating like a pig. But hey, you know what? We didn't have to break loose any of them other tortilla bolts and have more questions on our hands. So hooray! And all the bolts that were taken loose, we've got replacements for these. Good afternoon, Geek Boy. Hello. That's subtle language for, I hope you give me a thumbs up. I mean, hell, maybe splitting the video up in the middle of the day is a good way to, I hate to say it like this, but harvest likes. Because you can only like one video so many times. But if I do 2 videos and you guys all like it, then double the money, double your fun. Double mint gum. Everybody's happy. You get content, I get more algorithmic sexiness. No, we have that. That is on the list of things to do today. But for now, we're trying to get this wheel bearing done. One. This time we could use this torque wrench to do the 90. I don't even know if this can do 90 of that. We can try. Worst thing it'll do is be pissed off about outer limits. Don't touch. This is a little easier, got 90 degrees on it. This takes nothing but brute force. We're over limits, aren't we? 38 degrees, but yeah, we're over limits. So I gotta go another 45. Yep, 150 is the max of this torque wrench. So now we just got to go a little bit further, about that same rotation, which isn't hard to measure. It's just, Oh God, that is so tight. Oh, I didn't need a back at all. That's good. Fan-frickin-tastic. Ugh. Is this a vented rotor? No, it's not. So we can't just, where do you go? You go here. Nope, today's gonna be full of repair videos. So, I guess that kind of ends this clip. I don't even know if I'll make a video out of this. I guess it's worth it. We'll figure out a way to make a video about this. This is just the ending for my video that I'm making right now, not for the ending of the whole thing. So, I'll cut this out of that video. All right, so I think that got the point across of how you can tighten up those wheel bearings and how you can get access to those bolts. So hopefully it helps somebody and hopefully it helps you. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. There, stop the recording for that. I wonder how big it is. I could find out real fast. That was 896 megabytes, which we can go ahead and send to the USB drive and let it start copying while we sit. Oh, that's not going to take but a couple minutes. So I can do that easily at the end of the day. Like, all right, time to go. Let me copy all my recorded videos over to the flash drive and take them home. So what do you guys think of this new format of how I do stuff? You guys, I mean, I'm assuming you guys are liking it, so I'm probably going to get a bit of a biased sample. But if you're watching the VOD, sorry, that just terrified me. It just flipped over the screen because it's done transferring. Adding complexity, maybe in the future. Maybe in the future, you know. Like maybe once I get really good at this and we are on the road to being super successful, etc., etc., and I can make a little home server that I can do that, that would be beneficial. But if I'm doing that, I could probably just hire somebody else to make clips. That's something I wonder if a lot of people haven't really thought about too much when they talk about the next automation wave. Is they talk about, well, all these industries are going away and they only got one new industry that's come in. It's like, you really haven't considered YouTube as a possible career? Because, or YouTube or Twitch or streaming, entertainment. I mean, I know it's not like millions of people support themselves on it, but it supports a lot of people. Lots of people are, you know, part of somebody's YouTube club that they're getting paid to just edit videos, and these other people are getting paid to make content. Well, I know not everyone can do it, but not everyone can do everything anyway. I am not a truck driver, yo. That is not in my repertoire. I get too sleepy driving cars. I hate driving. I don't know, I'm not convinced this is like the end of the world kind of automation. There's a lot of, where did my safety glasses go? Oh, there they are. I still think we have a lot more to do. And also I don't think it's going to come as fast as they believe it is, but I don't know. I'm not going to be Chicken Little yet. Oh man, I was ready to throw something yesterday, day before, yesterday? I don't remember. It was either yesterday or, wait, today's Tuesday. So it would be Sunday. I went to Walmart because we had to pick up some things that, we go to Walmart like once every 2 months. And so we went to pick up the things that we have to get from there because it's the only place that sells them. And we went to check out. And it was frickin' terrible. It was terrible. There was 8 self-checkouts open, 1 regular register open. And there was like 200 people standing in line. It was disgusting. The line stretched more than half the store. And I was like, screw this noise. We walked down to the farm, or you know, the garden department, I was like, I bet you they got a register open here. Yeah, they did. There was 2 people in line, and I was like, sweet. But, ugh. Is that a hammer in my butt? So I was like, if I had to sit through that line, and Walmart usually gives you a survey at the end where it's like, what did you think of your experience? I'd give them like, can I do a negative 1,000? What about a negative 1,000,000? What about I hate you all? There. There, torque to factory specs. Yeah. You always torque them to factory specs. I don't like this hose. It's like not. Oh, it's because the suspension's pulled down. If you don't think that's torque to factory specs, then well, I'm sorry. Uh-oh. I have had that issue the other day. I went and Friday, I think it was. I went over to grab my phone, and I was like, I left my phone at work. Whoops. What's up, Steven? There's that, there's that. Sorry you can't see much right this minute. I'm just trying to get this thing back together as quickly as possible so we can get on to other things. You have a house phone? Oh, you're showing your age. Oh, we found the boomer. I've never actually had a house phone. You're 23 and you have a house phone. You're a young boomer. I gotta tidy up. This is nuts. My toolbox is a damn mess. All this new. Go away. Away with you! This goes back over there. All right, all this stuff is either trash or toolbox. I just have internet from my Spectrum. That's something we're considering, but the problem is the kids don't particularly want to share their phones. And by kids, I mean the only one in our household that has a phone, which is the middle son, because he goes out to Scouts and he goes camping, and so he has that phone for camping and stuff, so that way he can reach us or in case of an emergency, anything like that. The other two kids, they don't have a phone. They have their computers, etc. They need something, we'll send them one of our phones. Thank you guys for watching today. I very much appreciate it. I hope to make this better and better as we go on and to come up with more content. Are those things still getting flagged as shorts? I know that one is. The funny thing is that the shorts that I make with the YouTube app, they're not eligible for monetization, but the shorts I make myself and then upload that are like 41 seconds, they count as shorts. Watch time in hours, 1.4 thousand, 88 hours more than usual. And there has been huge spikes. 178 hours watched on Friday, 209 on Monday. So you guys are gonna help bump my watch time up like through the roof. If any of you guys know anything about that or you have any input on that, please post it in Discord for me. American Patriot, or if you want to hang out with me in the evenings or something. Tonight won't be a good night for that kind of stuff, but I would like to, and I think it'll work this time, I would not be opposed to starting a little voluntary crew of people that want to give me a hand with this stuff for the time being until we can get it. Hopefully, this time we can make enough money that I can start paying people to help. Then I have to make it a full-fledged business and junk. But more money, more problems. Worry about that later. Worry about it as it comes. Okay, input that consists of information about YouTube that isn't useful. Oh, this is a different size bolt. Interesting. It went from a 19 to a 17. There we go. $18 is the bolts. Collar screw, 200 newton meters plus 180, so same as every other axle nut. Except this time we're gonna have to get somebody to sit up in the car. All right, so we got the brakes reassembled. I got it all plugged in, got that in, got that tight. We didn't take off anything else. I wonder if when I put the car on the ground, if I might have better access to those rear bearing bolts if I put it on the alignment rack or something where the suspension's loaded, and it might make that control arm flat. Or at least, like, you know, if you're gonna replace this, you might say start it on an alignment rack or something like that where you can load it down, crack them loose, and then get them out. Sup, sunshine?
You've been yelling no like I asked you to.
Yes, I've been at least yelling at him about 5 times a day.
Yeah, you need to do it
More?
more. Yeah, he doesn't look beat down enough.
He doesn't look upset and beat down.
He doesn't look beat down yet.
Noah, Ken told me that you don't look beat down enough. I need you to take when I yell at you more seriously, and you're gonna have to start maybe weeping sometimes. I need a solid look of depression on your face at all times, though. We're gonna have to have a conversation about this later. What did he say?
That's rusty. That's rusty. What's rusty? That's why.
I see a ratchet.
Rusty. You broke a tool?
Oh crap!
Rust.
You broke that thing in half.
Yes, I did.
I mean, you broke the whole thing.
It's
What?
got a warranty.
What is rusty? Where?
That's what I'm saying.
Where? Where are you seeing rust? I see some
Everywhere.
corrosion and junk. Are you replacing the knuckle?
See that? That's very rust.
Okay, that's like surface
Just a lot
rust.
of rust. See, flakes
Surface
of rust.
Surface rust.
I need to get him like that Audi from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Let him look at that.
He just needs to work on my Audi. You're not very good on that.
That's rusty.
There you go. Look at that. It was rusty, but you still got it. Congratulations.
Because I'm good at my job.
Yeah, exactly. I need to yell at Jason too? Cool. Noah, the beatings will commence until morale improves, okay? That's all I got to say around these parts. Thank you Thank you for that last DC. I feel like I should make a video of the random crap that we talk about like that. Jason's over there in Bay 5, where he's always at. But I want to have a serious conversation about something for a minute. You mechanics out there, and comment in the video or whatnot, what do you guys really do with torque to yield bolts? Like, not this lip service BS that people give to people. What do you actually do with them? Do you retorque them exactly the way they were? Do you torque them a little less? Do you just tighten them and you're like, this is good? Like, what do you do when you don't have new torque to yield bolts and you have to use an old torque to yield bolt? Because I can't get a straight answer out of anybody. Because people that are like, I replace them every time. I know you're full of crap because it's about damn impossible to find every bolt that you ever need for every repair. And by about damn impossible, it is. Either that or my service writers suck. And our part suppliers suck. And everything sucks. And I work at the wrong place. I don't know if me putting the title, "The Beatings Will Commence Until Morale Improves," will be a good title for a YouTube video. The problem is I need to torque this to 200 Newton meters before I load it on the bearing, but I can't load it on the bearing. We have to open the door. We can't open the door with it on the lift. I might have to get skinny ass Noah to sneak up in here and step on the brake. No, I might need you to be really skinny. So make sure everything's out of the way. Maybe go wash your hands real quick because you're gonna have to get up in this car because I need you to step on the brake whilst I torque down an axle bolt because it doesn't have vented rotors. Good. I'm not an expert PC builder. That's what my friend Rebel's for. Or Matt, if you ever see Matt the Hat shows up here. Which I gotta work on his Subaru. I gotta fix his transmission. It sounds like his problem is the same problem my van had, where he was driving it and then suddenly it stopped pulling and then he let it sit for a while and then it would pull again. So it sounds like he toasted the transmission. Yep. All right. I don't care how you get up in there. You got to climb through the window. I don't think you have to climb through the window, so just be careful when you open the door. It won't let you open it but so far. You could totally fit in that. Yep. Look at that. All right, step on the brake. I got to make sure my torque wrench is on before I was like, I'm getting close to being tight. Hopefully I just didn't over torque it and have to guess at the damn. Perfect. All right, you're good. You can get out. I can let you out now because I can let it down. Thank God for us skinny bastards. There is no damn way anybody else is fitting up in that car. Mike or Eric or definitely not Ken. Ken couldn't get his arm through that amount of room. It is nice being able to fit in stuff. I could fit in there, it's just a little tight. All right, now we gotta go 180. I'm taking advantage of Flat Bill's disability because he's thin. So we're torquing down the axle bolt. I already had Noah sit in the car, hold the brake down so I could torque it to 200 Newton meters. Now we gotta go 180. Which this part sucks. There we go. So a key thing that I want to tell you all that I've learned from working on, or from exercising and weightlifting and stuff, that I wasn't aware of until I started looking into that. Do that when you're getting ready to crank it over. Try and make your stomach and all this stuff like a tree trunk, because that's what it is. It's supporting you. So, like, compress it all, make it all really hard, so that way when you're going over, it supports all of your your torso and stuff, because you don't want to throw out your back because you're pulling too hard and you don't have any support here. And if you have to get a belt or something, and if you can get like one of those weightlifting belts or something to that effect, a support belt, the trick is understanding how they work, which is you get them nice and snug, real tight, and then you take a belly breath like that. And so you put it all there because you want it to be really tight around this midsection, so that way while you're doing all that mess with the torque wrench, that this stays good and solid, or else you're gonna hurt yourself. And we don't want people hurting themselves. So by God, man, go to the gym, exercise, lift things, I don't care what, but make sure your body can handle that stuff. Because before, when I did those axle torques like that, woo, it was scary. And I looked silly. Because I was really weak about it. But now, I can get them over pretty easy. Easy. I think we're done. I think we're done with that. Thank God. That was just not fun. That was just not fun. I want to see how much, oh, I haven't even let it all the way down. I want to see how much it actually moves up that suspension when it's fully loaded. That's probably about what we had it at. Nobody said that. Oh, I thought you were wearing a girdle. If you're at the bloody gym and you have a weight belt on, people know what you have it on for. And if they say that, they're a dunce. We'll go with dunce as the nice term for that. All right, back to the front of the car. Hooray! I can stop stealing Noah's power and stop making him walk around a cord. That would be nice of me. Wouldn't that be nice of me if I just stopped making you walk around this damn power cord? He doesn't. Look at, he's so nice. He's like, I don't mind. He knows the price for content. Maybe I shouldn't put it up. I'll just leave it down low enough to hit you just so you don't get used to having free room. It'd be like, you know, letting your dog outside and being like, nope, I don't want you getting used to freedom. That's terrible. Don't ruin my good story with the truth. I hate it when that happens. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Okay, let me go find out if we're doing the vent valve. I'm pretty sure we are, but we'll go ahead and get it. Let me go get the part and then we'll do it. What's up, Polaris? Polaris gut. Noah, you're doing a terrible job. Terrible. Has that improved morale? Okay, good. It's white. Yep. He just hammered him on with the impact gun because that's how you've been taught, not by me, but by Jason and everybody else here. So the beatings will commence until morale and everything else and use of torque sticks improves. These kids these days. All right, so this is a white one. I hated to get political with this. God, we're up there and everybody's getting all political. Because they're like, is it white or black? And I'm like, I don't know, I wasn't looking. I really hope this is the original one. It is a Hengst. It's a J, I think. So there's two different oil separator valves, which is technically what that's called. And the oil separator valves have a myriad of fixes or updates on their part numbers. Like, it's ridiculous. And I need to know whether it's got a white top here or a black top. And I have been recording this entire time, so that was, got a lot to trim off there. So yeah. I hate it when that happens. My phone's like, I want an update. And you're like, ugh. Remind me later, remind me later, remind me later for like a week. And then you're like, fine, whatever, update. Then it doesn't, it's like, I want to update. And it's like, well then, fuck you. What was the point? All right, let me go back up there and get the primer on. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right. Oh, goodness. Whew. Whoop, too far. Right there. Good morning, Tom Eric. How are you? All right. Cool. So, we're replacing the crankcase vent valve on this car, also known as the oil separator, also a PCV system. There is one key difference when you are looking for the new part. If you have a yellow, or it should be white top on this, or a solid black one, those are two different parts. They're two different part numbers, they're two different parts, two different applications, apparently. This is what we were just talking about. So if you have a white top one, you need to order a white top one. If you don't, order a black top one, else you might have issues. I don't know, they've had so many issues with these vent valves that it is a bloody nightmare to order parts for them. So, we're not worried about that. We are worried about how do you put it on? How do you put it on, my good man? And I say like this, as soon as I find my T30, wherever the heck it went. There it is. So first thing we gotta do is loosen up the rail here, because there are a couple bolts under here, and so we gotta move this electronics. These are just the ignition coil connectors. Oh my God, I'm having a stroke. I'm having an absolute stroke. I'm just kidding, I'm actually fine. I'm just really getting a little tired. Running out of steam, it's hot today. I don't like it being hot. Summer is over. Oh goodness, we broke that. Oh goodness, that one broke the connector housing. We'll have to fix that one. Ah, come on. Oh. Well, there went that. Thank God for magnets. Boop. We've retrieved it. Another possibility for getting these loose is once you get the tab lifted up with the screwdriver, giving it just a little pressure on either side. There we go. Now we got it dislodged. Those can be pretty tight. Again, pick tool around the front. You can also kind of go around the side and you slide it in, lift up the tab that is this tab that goes through there, and dislodge it. Even if, like what happened on here, if it cracks this outer housing, as long as this tab's intact, you're good, because that's what retains it on the bloody thing. So, what you can do, some options here. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull out a few of these coils, because being able to move, I'll probably just pull out all the coils, because being able to move this harness around is the key to getting that done. So I'll move that back, and then I'll just slowly pry up on these coils until they pop out. Just keep them in the order you had when coming off. Again, just give it a little, shouldn't be terribly hard, like, whoa, nuts. We had this problem in another one. Could be where some of our misfires are coming from. That thing is leaking bad. Not super bad, but not great. I hadn't even looked in there. You're gonna clean off this coil pretty good though. I had this happen on another car, and to fix that, usually you would have to do the cam frame, because that's how this is sealed. This is not a valve cover gasket. This isn't a valve cover as is conventionally understood. This is the cam frame. These bolts, that bolt right there, is literally holding down the camshaft. So if you wanted to take that off, you gotta take off the timing chains, you gotta take off this upper cam bracket. What is it called? I just said it. Cam frame. So unless it's hemorrhaging in here, ooh, that is quite a task. Probably not worth the effort of trying to fix it. It's more of just how much can I mitigate the problem. See, that one's not leaking. That one's not leaking. So, I don't know why that one's got so much oil in it. I don't know if it came, it might have come out of this. So we're not gonna condemn that or anything yet. We'll worry about that at a later date, which might not be anytime soon, if it rears its head to prove to be an ugly problem. So there is one bolt right here And then you just take off the rest of these bolts and you're good. So let's whip them out with our electric ratchet, because I love electric ratchets. They're nice, they're good. It's not just your car that needs tools. No, 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 not one bit. Personally, if you're me, what I like to do is this. I'll take my ratchet and I will just break these loose first. This is the hardest one to get to. Break them loose, just so you know you're not stripping anything out, because sometimes if you go in there hot and heavy with the ratchet, you can strip out a bolt, and we don't want that. That is no bueno. Not a good. And then we also got to dislodge this. For that, same principle. I take, this is a different look to ones that I've seen. Anyway, lift out one tab, wiggle back, lift out the other tab, lift. And then it should just pop out. It might not come all the way out. We might just have to go ahead and finish disconnecting it. Once we get it loose, we'll pull it the rest of the way out, but we got it slightly dislodged, so good enough. It's not currently stuck all the way on there. So let's go ahead and run all these out. But what these codes, or what this can be, is very much lean codes. These are notorious for their diaphragms coming apart. Once we get some free time later, I'll take it apart and we'll investigate and see what the heck is going on in there. I might have missed that one. Also, if you're looking at tools, I honestly would highly recommend Milwaukee's. I've been using these Snap-on tools for a few years. They're fine. They definitely do their job. But honestly, at this point in my life, I think the Milwaukee's are a little better, and I would rather have tools that I also have tools at home, because I have like a Milwaukee circular saw. I got Milwaukee. It's just more tools for one battery platform. So I'd rather just all keep the same battery platform, including my stuff at home. So I guess you could probably write it off as a work expense for when you buy batteries, because they go to the tools at work and for the tools at home. So it's not untrue, that's for sure. All right, so we got them all loose. Excellent, I think we did. Now this should come up pretty easily, unless I missed a bolt, which I very well may have. Wouldn't surprise me. I can't see back here. Is there another one there? I don't think that's part of this. No. Might take a little effort to get this thing to crack loose though, because it's been on there for a while and it's probably a little stuck. So we'll just get that, but I might have missed a bolt somewhere. Unless somebody before me used some like sealer on it, which is another distinct possibility. There we go. This thing is just rather stuck. There we are. Big key difference. There is a hose, this bolt right here. It's really hard to see, but there is a whole nother hose attached to this that you gotta get loose. Come on. I don't know why this thing's being such pain today. Also be careful not to drop anything in the camshafts. That is definitely a possibility. Be aware of it. Somebody need to lube up this bloody O-ring. There we go. So now we can get this out and this out. Probably don't turn it over quite so much, but the problem is it was dripping oil, so I wanted to stop that. Getting that everywhere. So there we go. We got our oil separator off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to clean up the surface, make sure it's good and clean. So grab yourself a clean rag and wipe away from inside the engine. So like wipe with a bit of a outward bias, so that way you don't push any of that dirt in the engine. So I try to make sure part of my finger is kind of like a snow plow or something, where it's just kind of always shoveling it out the outside. See, like a little bit of dirt right there, kind of tried to get back in there, but let's get it the rest of the way out. Keep moving over to new sections of clean rag. And then finally the hardest one right here. Carefully, carefully. Even then I still dropped in a little dirt. But just try to be mindful. I mean, it's never going to be perfect. Do your best. It is. I like it. I'm enjoying the YouTube thus far. I don't know if I'm enjoying it because I'm just enjoying not arguing all day, or maybe I'm just actually enjoying it again. But like I said yesterday, I think, like yesterday and today, I've been like excited to come to work again and to turn on stream. I mean, work hasn't been really an issue for the past few weeks. I have depressive spells and things like that from time to time where I just don't want to do anything. But since we decided to take the risk and go to YouTube, it's definitely had an effect on my mood. And I can't complain, I like it. I don't know. I think I might have turned it off or something, but there should be a chat replay too. So what I'm doing around this O-ring is I'm just wiping a little dielectric grease on it, so that way it'll slide into the new assembly easier. And now for the new oil separator, crankcase vent valve, PCV system, whatever word you would like to use. Ta-da! So we're gonna go ahead and put this thing in here and go click. And then we're gonna drop this down here. And in fact, add a little dielectric grease to the inside of this, so it has a bit of an easier time coming in and out with this in case we ever have to take it back off. It's not going to affect it. It's held on by different things, so little lube dielectric grease isn't going to hurt the seal. It's not going to do any damage to it, cause it to swell, not like oil or anything like that. So it'll just help you be lubed. We are going to have to clean out that cylinder though. We'll get this all bolted down first, and then we'll worry about that. Now what? What's he got to do with that? What's he got to do with the... Oh, they walked away. What a bunch of jerks. Talking at them and they're just like, meh, meh. Bunch of jerks. What other little tidbits of knowledge can I lay on you while I'm doing this? Oh, goodness. I like to work with cars at a working height, aka at a level that is comfortable for my back to where you hinge at the hips. I cannot stress that enough. It'll make you feel much, much, much better. All right, somehow we're gonna have to get that bolt in there, and I can't do it with all the stuff in my hands. Oh Lord, don't fall out of my fingers. There we go. What are you doing to the Xterra? A seat belt? Really? Interesting. Not what I expected. Honestly, not what I expected at all. Oh, I can't do that one yet. We still got to put the coils back in, or else we're really going to be upset. Hey, Ark. I'm missing one bolt. Where am I missing it? Oh, I see it. Meow. Of course, torqued them to factory spec, which is tight enough. Uh, 1.2 billion reasons. Twitch has an average user base of 15 million users a day. YouTube has an average user base of 1.2 billion users a day. If I want to get people to watch my content, I'm going to have to go to where the people are. That's why. Twitch isn't growing. Twitch is slowly dying. Chaotic crew. Nice, Duncan Dan. So, any questions about that, Chaotic crew? Arc is correct. It is more of a passive payout. All right, so now I'm going to teach y'all how to clean out a plug hole, and I'm not even going to use my regular tools that I do that with, which is like a little oil sucker that I can stick down in there and suck out the oil. But I'm going to teach you guys how to do it just with air, so that way you don't have to have any special tools to do it with. It's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know how else to put it, but hey, you might not know, and if you don't know, I hope this helps. Get you an air blower, get you some brake cleaner, and get you some rags. That's what you need, man. Need some rags. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to blow out all the crap that's in there right now. So we put this in there, put all these rags over it, and go. And blow it everywhere. Made a mess. Got a mess. So we blew all that oil everywhere. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some brake cleaner, where you go, boop. Because do this with the plug in there. Don't take your spark plug out. Don't do this with spark plugs out, for the love of God. This is only with spark plugs in. Spark plugs keeps it from getting into the piston or anything. So do that. Do it again. And you'll notice you got more out. And you look down there and it'll look better. And you just do this, rinse and repeat, until it comes out clean. You could even, if you want to accelerate your process slightly, take your rag here and just kind of stuff it down in there with a screwdriver and wipe around. Just don't pry on your plug, or don't hit your plug or anything like that. Just be very gentle with it. You're just trying to wipe up the oil. You're not trying to break anything. So do that, and then again, a little bit of carb cleaner. Get some fresh rags. And then you'll be done when you can see silver down there. Before, when we were looking down there, it was all nice and dark and nasty looking. And now it looks nice and clean. See? So we got all the oil out. We'll just make note of that and say, I'll even do it right now. We'll write, I think I was on the right ticket. We will just go over here and we will write, may require attention soon, oil in cylinder, or plug hole. Number 3 spark plug hole had some oil in it. Monitor or be aware of it. In future, cleaned, and none of the other holes have oil. So it could be that oil was coming out through here and getting into here, and that could have filled it up. It could be that the plug's got an issue, and the cam frame could have an issue and it could be leaking in there. But cleaned it out, got it good. Gonna go ahead and put it back together. And if it rears its ugly head in the future, then that's a different problem. So now, what we're doing is liberally applying more dielectric grease to this. Dielectric grease is for the boot, so the boot doesn't stick to things. It is not you should not be using it for lubrication, or it's not conductive. There we go. That was the term I was looking for. It's not conductive. So don't be using dielectric grease to try and make your plugs conductive or something. It's there to keep stuff out of it, not make stuff work. So there. So I like to take my dielectric grease, and you can get this at CarQuest, anywhere. You can get it any place. Get a little dielectric grease. I get a pick tool, just stick it down in there and then wipe it around the outside. So that way you get a good spreading of it. Because then any excess will come out with your pick tool. But the worst thing to have happen when you're working on these cars is you go to try and pull those coils out and they are stuck because somebody didn't lube up the previous coils, and you are there fighting them tooth and nail, and you're ready to pull your hair out because some jerk didn't put some dielectric grease on it. And that jerk might have been me, but it won't be, because I love dielectric grease. I use it all the time for many different things. Probably too many things, honestly. Click, 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 click. All right, all those are secured. Now we can bolt it down, and we're done with that part. Yeah, and if you have oil in the coil, if you have oil in your spark plug hole, make sure you clean out that coil. That was the first thing I did when I got it out, was I went ahead and hosed it off so that way we didn't have any oil in it. And there you are. You now have a newly installed vent valve. Nobody's upset, everything's on, tight. I'm just running around checking some bolts again, because I can, because why not? I'm not making them any tighter. I'm just checking them again, because it wouldn't be the first time that I've gone and been like, oh, I missed that one bolt when I was tightening them down. Hooray! New coil, sorry. New crankcase vent valve, also known as oil separator, also known as PCV system. But if you look it up and you're trying to buy it, it'll be called an oil separator. Awesome. There we go. So if that's the problem you were having lean codes, you were having maybe a rough running condition, possibly misfires, things like that. You have a vacuum leak. Mostly you're going to notice it under lean conditions. You're going to be, check engine light's going to be on, system too lean, things like that. So if that's the case, that is very likely a problem. This one, again, we'll take it apart later. The diaphragm was definitely torn because I could spray carb cleaner into the hole. I have a little short about that, and it was sucking fuel right through it. So if it's sucking the carb cleaner through it, then it's sucking air through it, and you won't have a good time. So that's it. I hope you learned something, as a take from Louis Rossman there, but hope I helped, and see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Maybe a thumbs up or some nice comments or some mean comments. I think this is the second video I've done on this, but maybe I didn't do one on an Audi. Ring that bell! I hate saying it, holy crap. But you know what is interesting and very fascinating to see is that the same viewer trends is the same on here as it is on Twitch. My most popular time is going to be about 10 a.m. 10 a.m. to maybe 2 p.m. After 2 p.m. it's going to kind of slowly dwindle off, and it'll probably be that way until like 6 or 7 o'clock, and then you got people that are getting home and watching it from house. But a lot of people probably watching me from work. Junk like that. I believe it. I do. I've reached the 5.5K. I've got 5,500 and 2. Maybe. I hadn't checked it in the past hour or two. Ooh, 504. Yay, 504. Now the real question is a subscriber more important than a follower on Twitch? Is a sub on YouTube? I feel like they're the same thing. But hey, we'll inch up. Yeah, that's the biggest freaking thing. Is like, what I really need help with is organizing all the videos that I have, because I have so many videos, but I don't have like end cards. I don't have any ways of like keeping them recirculating inside my own content and stuff like that. I'm terrible at that. I just pretty much I upload them and I'm like, ugh, I'll do it later. Ain't no thing, man. Because the more subs I get, the more better, the mo better algorithmic stuff I get. And thank you guys for the likes today. It's been far too kind. Now's the time to test drive it and make sure she doesn't roar out the rear end and that she doesn't explode. Just gotta clean up some of these rags. It's getting kind of messy over here. That's the one I just got. I'm a pack rat for rags. I really am. Yeah, that too. Like, because before I was getting like 60 subs a month, not uploading crap. Like I might upload once every 6 months or something. But if I start getting videos up every day, stuff like that, I bet you it's gonna start racing soon. So, cross your fingers, you know. Because you know what I'll come up with another success goal, so that way you guys can hold me accountable for it too. When it, because like when my wife asked me what is success on Twitch, I was like, well, yeah, what is success? And so I told her once upon a time ago before it happened was, I just want to be able to pay the mortgage out of the money from Twitch. You know, like $700-ish a month. It's not, you know, not like trying to retire or, hey, I'm a millionaire. But like just enough money that we can be a little bit more comfortable. Well, at this point, I think what I want to consider success for our next stepping stone is one, getting back to that point that my stream or YouTube income can supplement my mortgage and pay that. And then the second thing would be, I would like it to supplement my full-time income, like to where money I make from work is the extra money. Yep, that's how much I pay for my mortgage. No, and that's why I felt kind of bad for it. Like, I don't want to leave Twitch because, I mean, I still get good viewership here, and compared to many other people, like, I'm doing great. But it's not everything that I want, you know? I want more, and this isn't going to provide it. My house was $92,000. But I think it basically ended up costing me $85, because I got like $2,000. I got $2,000 and another $5,000 in like grants, because first time home buyer, blah blah blah, all these things back in 2008 when I bought my house. I haven't paid off. I mean, I haven't paid off as much as I would like to pay off of it, but it's a place for us to live in. It's a place I've been able to raise my kids, so can't really complain. You know, they've had a stable home life, relatively speaking. I mean, it's not the perfect place, but it's better than like moving from apartment to apartment. So we moved there when my oldest son was like, let's see, it was 2008, or it was like might have been 2007, like early 2007 or late 2006. Wait, nope, it was late 2007 because my youngest son, or sorry, my middle son was like 8 months old at the time. Which, falling on the things that you really want to do, we just got married. So I did everything backwards. I had kids, got married, and then bought a house. Usually it's supposed to be you buy a house, get married, and have kids. Okay. I'm going to start it up and hope nothing freaks out. I also want to watch the fuel trims, because I want to see that we fixed what we wanted to fix. Long and short-term adaptation. Let's get this brought up on the screen under VCDS. There. All right. So we just finished putting everything back together. I'm going to start up the car. We have the fuel trims pulled up, which is what we're looking at. You can see that's the long-term fuel trim and the short-term fuel trim, or mixture formation. Basically, it's your long-term, short-term fuel trims. So we're looking to see that 7% get driven down by the computer. And hopefully that means that we have nailed the leak. Yay, nothing exploded. I like it when things don't explode. We're not pouring anything out, nope. And of course, I don't know why I put the cover back on, but I did already. Yeah, we're not hemorrhaging anything out of the the cover or the oil separator, so we're doing okay there. So we can watch this for a minute, see if it's running high idle right now because it's just warming up. So we'll see what happens when it comes down to a normal-ish. Wasn't what I was hoping to see. Seems like it's still adding a bunch of fuel. I really hope it didn't suck in the rear main. That's my biggest worry. Assuming I got this right with the long and short-term fuel mixtures. It's running okay though. also want to check for misfires per 1,000 revs. Yep, that's all 4. Not misfiring. Of course, we don't have regular basic measuring blocks. So what I am going to do though is I'm going to go ahead and clear out all these bloody codes, because there is a ton of them. And they're all intermittent at this point, so we'll give them a clear. That's going to make the engine freak out for a minute, which is to be expected. Then we're going to go back to adaptations, long and short. It's going to reset that, and that's immediately going to jump up because it's still got a vacuum leak somewhere. It must. Yeah, see, we made it misfire. Made it misfire on some things. Oops. Yep, it raced right back up there. Got a pretty good leak there. It's pulling a lot of vacuum on this. If it was pulling this much vacuum on it in the first place, I'd have said the crankcase was bad, or the oil separator's bad. We might have to do further testing on this. It's very high. I don't like how high it is, but the problem is I'm having trouble finding a leak. Trying to make sure our new one's not bad. It's not going to be the brake booster line because this runs a vacuum pump for that. A brake booster vacuum pump, so it doesn't per se. Just got to be anything post. Oop, did I hit something down there? Not really. Let's see. Might have to take it out and test drive it, which I'll probably do real quick. Go out, run around the block, get it warm, and then come back and check the fuel trims again. Also got to check that wheel bearing, make sure it's not making noise anymore. It's slowly driving it down though, so either I sprayed the right spot or it's actually just bringing it down. Slowly but surely. Let me go run it around the block real quick and check that. Make sure the wheel bearing does okay too, and like my wheel doesn't fall off. It's always a good start, because even though I have those wheel bearing bolts tight as hell, it always makes me nervous because I touched them, you know. So let me just grab my phone. I'm just gonna go run around real quick. I'll just leave you guys here for the moment because I want to get it done sooner than later. And also, I have to hit the restroom. No, we're not going on a field trip. No, I don't think so. We're definitely going to be on here for some time. Hold on. right, be right back. I don't have a sub. I don't have